Hey everybody, I'm Josh and welcome to the season 11 finale of Just Sayin. Thank you. It is going to be a fun show as we climb into our time machines for our throwback episode. Let's get it started by asking the question, what is Josh drinking? And on the show today, why would I switch it up on the finale? It's good old Mountain Dew. Refreshing. As I said, we are going back in time to the 90s and 80s, and you're going to see why I'm glad that things are better than they are, but at some points in time in my life, I wish we could just go back to the simplicity of everything, to be honest. Anyway, so let's get it all started. It's time for the rundown. I have to apologize if it feels like I'm yelling at you. I'm on pain meds. So it feels like my head is a balloon right now. And let me tell you why. So apparently I've got bad carpal tunnel that is just coming out. And so, yeah, I have lovely braces, a brace for my wrist. I have a brace for up here to wear. And I'm going to be the bionic man eventually at the age of 41. So, I apologize that this is getting out late, but trust me, it'll be worth it here in just a little bit. That's all I'm going to say for now, because it's going to be fun. Let's just say the sketch is going to be hilarious. I think. I hope. I also sadly have to report no new subscribers, which means we're stuck at $8. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I began the season with 49 subscribers, and for every new subscriber I got all season long, I would donate $1 to Toys for Tots up to $50, which would put me at 99 subscribers. If I got 51 or more subscribers, I would have doubled it and donated $100, but it's the finale. However, I have an announcement. If I can find the right buttons. Just like last year, I'm going to continue the deadline until December 1st. So even though I'm not posting new shows, or any shows for that matter, please continue to click subscribe, and I will continue to put in another $1 for each new subscriber. So click that subscribe button. Let's do this, and I hope the less fortunate have a better Christmas, because we all deserve a great Christmas. Anywho. What else happened this week? So people have emailed in asking me what I'm going to do over the break. Well, it's Christmas and Thanksgiving and my dad and sister's birthdays. So I'm going to be pretty busy, but I hope to actually have the new set done, cleaned, decorated. I've started getting decorations for it. I have like the floor plan that I want in my head. And so it's now it's just about execution. So I'm really excited about it. And let's just say, I'm not going to tell you what, but there will be some new decorations coming next season. I'm not going to tell you what, but I don't know. I'm not giving you a hint right now. Not doing it. So let's get into the news. Congratulations goes out to, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Baker, who welcomed their baby boy last week, but named it Rocky. Why do we always talk about babies until we know the sex as it's? Anyway, sorry, that's going to go into my sketch here in just a few minutes, but whatever. So apparently they were talking about wanting to have the baby on Halloween. So she went into the hospital apparently right around Halloween. Travis had been spotted going in to visit there at least twice a week. I'm sorry, it was only in a week. At least twice within that week, maybe 3 or 4 times. And her sister Kylie has been in to visit her. And then I checked TMZ today and come to find out Travis and Kourtney have welcomed Rocky. into the world. So congratulations to them. I really don't care about the Kardashians. I don't follow the Kardashians. I don't. But that's always good news. There is a war brewing, and it's about The Simpsons. That's right. An old staple of the show is being yanked. So you will no longer see Homer strangling Bart. People that grew up with the show say that it's a staple of the show and should not be taken out, even though others say that it can be seen as child abuse. And those people, some people, are also saying that Disney, which now owns Simpsons, is going woke. Whatever. Anyway. Moving right along. I just don't even want to get into it. Congratulations. Let's totally switch topics from one stupid group of people to another stupid group of people. Congratulations goes out to Logan Paul, as he now has his own WWE champion belt. That's right. He won against Rey Mysterio over the weekend in Saudi Arabia at the Crown Jewel. And he is, I'm on the wrong story here. Now he is the WWE champion. So, one brother goes into MMA, the other goes into wrestling, you know. Speaking of nothing, this cat's name is Frank. Frank is one lucky pussy. Here's what happened to Frank. So, well, not Frank himself, but Frank's owner. Here's what happened. So, about 2-3 years ago, this guy by the name of Joshua Smith found Frank in the alley, took him in, was living in a rehab facility as a resident, and took the cat in. For 2 years, the cat lived with them. And then all of a sudden, Frank went missing. Well, after a little bit, the landlord admitted to stealing Frank and giving Frank to landlord's girlfriend. So Joshua Smith sued and won $1.4 million because of Frank. Congratulations. That is one rich... I don't even like saying that word. I don't. It's just weird. Anyway... Moving right along, this story really shocked the shit out of me, and I'm not going to lie, I just found out about it. I used to follow the Real Housewives series really closely, but this is a couple that I really, really saw love each other on the show. But Mauricio and wife Kyle Richards, and star of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, have officially been admitted separation. She was at BrovoCon this weekend and accidentally let the word divorce slip. However, during a Q&A session, a fan blatantly asked Richards, "Where do you guys stand?" And she said, in part, we know we still love each other, but we're trying to figure it out. So, who knows? However, he has been spotted around town privately with this Emma Slater lady. So, who knows? And then she slips up and says the word divorce. So I don't know. I don't know. They were a really cute couple on the show. They really seemed like they were in love. But yeah. I mean, he had a job where he was high rolling and selling mansions to people. You know. She was on a show all the time. There has to be some separation with that. I don't know. And all the drama being on one of those shows causes especially in your family. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm not trying to stick up for him because I'm not. I don't know what happened. I literally just read this story before I started filming. And yeah, I don't know what happened. I do know that he went and did Dancing with the Stars. And so I don't know who this Emma Slater is, but just saying. So it's time for my new favorite sketch, and one that I'm trying to make funny, especially this time because, well, I've been on pain meds. And so, you know how we all think we're smart, especially when we're inebriated? I thought it would be fun to write down some of my thoughts this week while I've been on pain meds in this week's edition of What is Josh Thinking? And here we go. Number 1. And I gave you 2 bonus ones because they're that funny. If the number 2 pencil is so popular, why is it still number 2? Number 2. Why do we say so-and-so is in that movie, but so-and-so is on that show? Let that marinate. Why do we see heads up when you really mean to duck? And what does everybody do? Huh? Yeah. Anyway. When French people cuss, do they say, "Pardon my English"? What would chairs look like if our knees bent the other way? Why is phonetic, where you learn how to spell words and sound them out, and the sound of each letter, why isn't it spelled phonetically? Why can people register for a wedding and baby gifts, but not for divorce gifts? And finally, if a person with multiple personality disorder threatens suicide, is it actually considered a hostage situation? And that is What is Josh Thinking? Painkiller edition. Moving right along. So it's time for our first travel back. And we're traveling back to my day. So we are going to take a look at some of the popular toys from the 90s. And let me tell you, you are going to get to see how great our technology was. And I would be totally fine going back to it. Here we go. Not in this picture, because this first picture is Stretch Armstrong. I had one of these things, and I didn't get it. Like, you're supposed to be able to stretch this guy and pull this guy, and in the commercials, one kid's doing it by himself, and he's not like the Hulk. But when you get him, it's like pulling the arms like this, and then they slowly go back, and by the time you're rested up, it's finally back to one piece. But the more and more you stretch it, the more and more wrinkled it looks like this. Like, oh, I don't know, I'm an 80-year-old person that flies down to Florida for the summer. Anyway, that was Stretch Armstrong. And I do want to warn you, don't put their arm in your mouth and bite, because you will pop it. Not saying I did it, but I'm just saying it could possibly happen. And it might taste really gross. So this next item is actual technology from my time. Basically, this was you could either get him as a car, or as a tow truck driver, or as a cop. But basically, you've got a screen with dots, and you have to try and figure out which side of the road is yours. And even if you're on the road, like the 80-year-old person that goes to Florida for the summer is driving. Anyway, but then you realize, oh wait, I'm in a field and I just killed a cow. But this was the great technology. And all you did was sit there and do this. I don't think the gear shift actually did anything but for looks. I mean, it moved, but I don't think it did anything in the game. Maybe that's why I always lost, though. I don't know. Moving along. Here's the next one. So this was our other source of technology. It was our first Game Boys. And basically, you would get one game on this thing. I think we had Aladdin, maybe another one. But you would just move your characters basically up, down, sideways, forward, backwards, avoiding snakes and holes in the ground and rocks coming after you. Yeah. I don't think I ever beat the game. I don't think I ever beat the first level of a game, because you really couldn't make out what was what. Because our technology was super. Here's the next one. This was actually fun. This was Crocodile Dentist. Now, For those of you banning books about wizardry or figuring out yourself and writing it into a book so other kids can maybe help figure themselves out, instead, let's allow kids to play with Crocodile Dentist, where we're going to stick our hand in the crocodile's mouth. Because that's what we do around crocodiles. Anyway, so what you would do is you'd press this button, and it would engage all the teeth, and you would pick out or pull one of the teeth, and if it chomped down when you pulled the tooth, you were out. It's kind of like Russian roulette with your hand at stake. Or your hand is its stake. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that this was actually a fun game. It was actually kind of fun. However, you get my rant. Now, this next thing was probably, I would consider, the stupidest invention. It's basically Velcro ball with 2 Velcro mitts, if you will, or paddles. And you're throwing them so hard they don't stick on the paddle. You only see people using them at the beach. And once they're wet, well, they're not really going to stick very well. And it's flinging water all over people who don't want to be wet. Because if they wanted to be wet, they would just gone in the ocean instead of trying to lay out on the beach. Anyway, or you hit someone with it. Not saying I did that. But I didn't have any fun with those things whatsoever. Here's the next thing. Now, this was our great personal computer, and some were actually called that. But basically, you would put your contacts in it. It was a calculator. You could put your contacts in it. Oh, and you can put your contacts in it. That's it. And the first thing you think of is, hey, let's go get my computerized person and then try to search for the thing and find the phone number. Instead, I have already written it down by the phone. Anyway, here's the next one. This next one came kind of ruckus lately. Well, not as of late, but much after this thing came out. This is the Tickle Me Elmo. And basically, you would tickle its tummy and it would giggle and move around like it was having an orgasm. And you would tickle around its pickle. Just saying. Area. It didn't have a pickle, but around that area. Anyway. Then it came out that the dude who did the voice had some molestation charges against him. And then people were like, oh, it makes sense. I'm trying to not tell a joke, so we're going to just move right along. This next one I'm going to try and hurry past because even thinking about it, even thinking about the noise is giving me chills down my spine. So this was Mr. Freeze, and basically if you wanted a snow cone, what you did was you got a bunch of ice cubes, cranked the back where you see the crank. You would hear what some people might describe as nails going down a chalkboard continuously, and then finally getting a teaspoonful of ice before you're like, screw it, I'll get the blender. Or the ice already melted and you're just left with a drink. Regardless, not a fan. Moving right along. Here's the next one. Oh, it helps if I uncover that one. There we go. These were called, boppers, socket boppers. And here's what they were. Basically, inflatable arming, or inflatable air around the sides, a padding right here, which is where you punched at, so you were still almost getting someone's full fist. And nothing to hold on to, so every time you punched, your arm would come out of it. Not that I was a world boxer, but it seems a little weird to me. Then again, there were people I knew that cut their seatbelts out of cars back in my day. So, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. And finally, this is one of those colorblind-ists games. It was called Mr. Bucket. And it was one of my favorite games. I would always be blue because I could see blue. And there was yellow too. I could see yellow. But basically, it was this creepy little bucket that crawled around the floor, and it would spit out balls at you. And then if you had that matching paddle, you'd go pick it up and put it back in the bucket before your teammates, and then it would spit it back out and you'd do it all over again. That is fun. Who doesn't like chasing balls with a paddle? Anyway. So one thing when I sat down to put this show together, this throwback episode, one thing I thought about was, you know, the great movies we had at the time. And all the movies and all the television shows always came and gave you great, great lines. So I thought it would be fun to take a look at the top 10 favorite slang words or sayings from back in the 90s. It's time for the 10. Now, I can't remember what movie this one was from, so please comment below and let me know. But this one, I think it was Clueless, but it was Talk to the Hand. Like if there was someone you were arguing with and you were tired of hearing their mouth yapping, you would just say talk to the hand. And it would piss them off more than anything because your hand would be right here and they would try to hit you. But talk to the hand was the way to get people to shut up back in the day. Number 9, because that's what we do on this show. We educate. I don't think I had 10 pulled up over here, but that's okay. Number 9, that is off the hook. That was a saying we used when things looked really good. Like, those clothes are off the hook. Number 8, as if. That was from a show called Clueless. And basically, it was saying that you didn't believe what someone was saying. Or just the sarcastic tone. They would say something, you're like, as if. That was as if. Number 7, not only is a phrase, but it also had its own sign. And I'm not talking about East Coast, West Coast. I'm talking about whatever. That's right. Another Clueless, but still. When you wanted to be sarcastic about what someone was saying or making fun of you, taking jabs at you, you would just go, whatever. Because that solved everything. And put them in their place. Number 5. What that? Now that started because of a Pepsi commercial. These guys answering the phone started it, and then it turned into What's Up Frogs, and yeah. No, Frogs are something. Frogs are Budweiser. Anyway, sorry. Here we go. Number 4. On fleek. Like that style is on fleek. I thought that was more of a now saying, but whatever. It was there when I found it. When I found these. Number 3, my bad. That means you're taking accountability for what you did wrong. Just kidding, it's your sarcastic way of doing it. Like if you did something wrong, stupid, and you messed something up, you'd be like, my bad. No, it wasn't your bad. It was your purpose. Anyway. Number 2. I only know that saying because my mom did that to me once. When I was a kid, I did something and got in trouble, and I was like, my bad. And she goes, no, that was your on purpose. Number 2, psych! That meant, I'm just fucking with you. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, sorry. Whatever. And the top trending slang phrase, whatever you want to say, from back in the 90s is no soup for you. Basically, it came from the show Seinfeld when the soup Nazi banned you from eating his soup. And so anytime you screwed up around your friends, they would start saying, "No soup for you." And you had to say it in that accent. Or it just wasn't funny and people thought you were insane. Kind of like the she said, that's what she said thing. Yeah. No. Anyway. So another thing that I thought was just hilarious when I was looking back on old pictures and stuff is the type of fanfare we used when we were taking family photos in this week's edition of Funny Family Photos.
Drop it.
Now, I understand that the photos is spelled wrong. Please stop emailing me about it. Thank you. So this next one, we are going to take a look at some really bad choices, which we thought were cool back in the day for your family photos. Like, for example, everybody having a backdrop. And again, no green screen or blue screen back in the day. We had backdrops that looked horrible. Well, for example, looked like this. I like that girl's attitude. It's just one with both arms back, just like, whatever, bitch. Anyway. Here we go. Here's the next one. Now, I can understand if you're a family that dances together, but it doesn't mean you need to take your picture as dancers or even posing. And what is up with that person's head? Did they stick their hand in a light socket? That was a famous hairdo back in the day. I kid you not. That was the tight perm. My sister had one. Both my sisters. Moving right along. This one is actually kind of a cute picture, especially since the lady in it is like, it's like a grandma and grandpa. That's the funniest part. Here's the next one. I never understood this craze. You always take the matriarch or the patriarch of the family or the monarch of the family and put him totally looking stupid out into nowhere when the children are doing the same thing, worshiping you. Like they're worshiping the ground you walk on. Because let me tell you, in reality, that don't happen. You know those kids are cussing, "Oh, why are we doing this? I'm not parents." And then hang all these pictures. Back in the day, you wouldn't post them on Facebook. You'd actually, and this is why you have a wall in Facebook, you would actually hang them on your wall. And when people wanted to see your new photos, you would have to go to their house and see your new family photos. Just saying. Moving right along. This one is perfect for the type of hairstyle I was trying to describe in a couple of pictures ago, but here we go. Because back in the day, your hairstyle also had to have height. Yeah. Also have to have height. Maybe not that much height. I mean, not to make you look like you're 10 feet taller than you actually are. But whatever. Now, when I found these pictures, all I did was I went to Google Images and I typed in funny family photos. And I don't know what this picture is about. I don't know what's going on in this picture. I have no idea why there's a picture of an old man with a young man, both shirtless. I don't get it. Though now that I think about it, I think that old guy, and this is a total random thought that just popped into my head. I think that old guy was in an episode of Cops I watch. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. And he was like telling them that he had a bunch of warrants, and I can just picture him in the back of this paddy wagon with a knot on his head because he fought with them. And yeah, I don't know. But anyway, sorry. Random thought. Painkiller. Here's the next one. So back to technology, people. They cost about as much as having an entire family, and the prices have much gone down since the first inception of the computer. But this is how big the computers were. Like, it was an actual, not suitcase. It was a suitcase as a tower. And then you had a different screen. And then you had the speakers. And then you had all the wires. And had to connect them to everything. And it was just obnoxious. Here's the next one. Excuse me. I don't understand this craze. Especially with a Christmas present. Looking at it like... I don't know. I just don't understand it. Here's the next one. Now, this one I actually think is kind of funny. Because back in the day, these were the thing to do. When you're trying to be serious, you whip out the oversized shades. That's right. I love that Christmas tree behind them. Just for the record. And finally, as our time machine begins to return back to the 2023, I don't know what it is about sunglasses in your family photo. I don't get it. Isn't the point to see, did you wake up with a black eye the next morning or something? I mean, I don't get it. Anyway. Well, that will do it. Not just for this episode, but for season 11. Wah, wah. But trust me, it'll be a bigger, better, badder show next season and next year. I hope you guys all have a safe holiday, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. I don't judge, but I will judge you if you don't start watching me again after January 28th. I'm just saying. Because we have one show, then we break into Dating 101, then we break into Luck Month, then we break into Spring. And then it starts getting warm again! Yay. Anyway. I'm going to miss you. No, I have a lot of work to do. I will miss you guys watching, but I hope you will continue to watch. Because this is season 11. For those of you who've just started watching, there's 10 seasons before this. You have a lot to binge watch. Trust me. Anyway. So, I do want to say thank you for watching. Before I get into my end spiel here. If you have anything funny you think I should see and share on the show, be sure to send it to me. There's my show email address as well as my Twitter. And please, if not for me, please click the subscribe button, comment below, and let me know what you're planning to do for the holidays, and if I can come over. Kidding. I already have plans. Family. Speaking of family, I just wanted to say thank you guys. Ever since my mom's passing, I know that I come out here and I do a show for you, and I know that I think about it as a way of me saying, ha ha, Mom, you're forced to watch my show now. But I think secretly she did watch it. She would always be excited to hear what I had planned and be excited for my costumes and stuff for the show on my Halloween episode. And it was you guys and continuing to do this show that really has helped me over the last hump for the last year or so. Little over a year now. And with the holidays coming up, I know it's going to be hard for me again. And I just want all of you guys to know that I'm thinking about you. I hope you guys are able to be with your families and don't take your family for granted ever. And until next year, I can't believe I'm saying that. Until next year, everybody, please stay safe, stay healthy, stop the hate. But until then, that's all I'm saying.